of the theater as we discuss It Ends With Us. And this is why I love doing what I do. I had no earthly clue that I'd be coming out of this film and telling you I kind of crushed hard on It Ends With Us. But here we are yet again, the most unpredictable show in the history of any media form whatsoever. Midnight Movie Talk. Let's watch a little bit here of It Ends With Us, the quick 1-minute trailer, and then we'll get into why the film works and why audiences, the core audience for this film, is going to lose their shit over this film, as was attested to by all the women in my screening crying over this thing. Here's a taste of It Ends With Us for the MMT evaluation live from the City of Angels. Guys, wow. I don't know what to tell you. First of all, I want to say this, that it is awfully odd to be sitting in a screening as virtually the only single dude in the entire joint. I came in like after the trailers had played because I'm like, this is going to be awkward. I sat in the far right-hand corner and I just looked around and I'm like, okay, I am definitely not the target demographic for this film. But this is why I know this film is going to be colossally huge. If I am coming out telling you that I really like this film, what do you think that target demographic's going to say? They're going to, as we said off the top, swoon over this film. Here's why this film works. I did not read the book. I understand the book is a bestseller. I pull up the Wikipedia page, and this thing was out in 2016, and it was, this huge bestseller, and it has over 1 million copies worldwide into 20 languages, on and on and on. And here's the thing is she says it here. The author is Colleen Hoover. And she says the hardest book I've ever written. I don't know any other books. I'm just going to give her credit here right now. Because a lot of times you can get to the #1 New York Times bestseller and maybe not have the goods, right? As we like to say here at MMT, a fraud. There are plenty of frauds in the film space. And I've got to say, after watching this film, and I imagine the book is even more expansive because anytime you take this material and you condense it, you're going to lose just a bit of what made that book, I guess, for a lot of people, one of their favorite books of the past decade or so. But I think when you look at this film, the #1 thing that really drew me into it, especially as the film wears on, I think off the beginning, I was kind of like, okay, this is a rom-com, Hallmark Channel kind of thing. I'm not into this. This isn't working. Then about halfway through, I realize what she's doing with this story. And I say to myself, okay, now I'm in, because this is a sprawling and very complex story. By the time we get to the end, we're dealing with a lot of shades of gray with characters. And any time that you have that in a film, I'm in. Okay, we have so many cookie cutter characters in our films that I always am looking forward to watching something that shows me at least a 3D, hopefully 4D character that I can relate to on a human level. And this film does that very well, especially on the back end when we get what actually happens to Blake Lively, who is the woman here, who is in the middle, as you know from the beginning of our song here tonight, a bizarre love triangle. She is in it with two dudes, one from her past and one from her present, and she has to figure out which one. And then not just that, but there's also issues at play with the one that she has currently chosen. I don't want to get into it and ruin it for you because, frankly, I didn't know a whole lot about this film. I think it's the best way to go into any film. And I'm glad I didn't read the book. This is not a review of the book into the movie. This is a review of the movie only. Again, I have no idea what this is even about before tonight. I had no idea what It Ends With Us even was. Like, what is This Is Us? Is this like the big screen adaptation of the NBC hit show? I didn't know. But as this film goes on and bleeds into that final act, it really, really takes form. And I really like where this film went. And it worked tremendously well for me. And that is, again, shocking, against brand, totally against brand here tonight, but that's what we do. We are always managing to surprise because we are always objective. And when you're objective, guess what you do? You surprise people because you're not always going to be tribal. You're not always going to go in with an agenda. I don't have an agenda. I just want to see a good film. This film has solid performances across the board. You know what's interesting is one of the boyfriend that Blake Lively's character, hooks up with in this film in present day is the director. And I don't know if I've seen him before. As I look here, let me pull it up. It's End With Us, and you've got Blake Lively as the titular character. And then you've got let's see, the guy's name is Justin Baldoni, and I guess he's done some other films, some smaller films, but he's the love interest. And I got to say, from a directorial standpoint, he delivers a very glossy film, okay? And there's no real problem with that. Again, for this target audience, this is what you want. You don't want some kind of cinephilic, artistic outing. You want this thing to be accessible for the majority of people who step into it, and you look at this film, it's exactly what it is. So you're not going to get all of the chin-stroking film Twitter knob critics to like this film because they're not going to go there. It's not really, it's too commercial. It just isn't rough enough. But the truth of it is that I think on the back end, again, where this film finishes, it is plenty interesting, and I'll be very disappointed, and I'm sure I will not be surprised to learn that a lot of critics did not like this movie. Listen, is it a perfect film? No, never. Listen, when you get my score, you're going to see in a moment. I'm going to talk about some more positives, and I'll get a couple negatives, and then we're going to give you the score, and then we'll probably skedaddle. It's going to be a short one here tonight. I also like the score here. When you look at the work by Rob Simonson, it's a really interesting cue that he uses throughout the film. And I think that, and you hear it, if you stay through the credits, just to remind you of what that is, they tack it on the very end of the end credits. And it's just a reminder that when you have someone, and I like Rob Simonson, I'm a big score guy, right? Big composer guy. Rob, I go back to, he's done a bunch of small films. He's done some bigger films. I think when he works on smaller projects, more intimate projects, Rob is right on target. And here he works very well for this film. Back to the performance guy, I only mentioned Justin Baldoni. There's a bunch here. Obviously, Blake Lively does a very good job. She's got a lot to do here. Very complex character. And you've got the time travel, right? You've got her as a child played by someone else, or like a teenager, I should say. And then later her in real life opening up a flower shop, meeting the man of her current dreams as her lover from the past comes back, and they all, meet in Boston. Jenny Slate has some good moments here, some emotional beats that are strong. Baldoni, again, directing this, also delivers largely. And I think the other dude is this Brandon Skellner. I don't think I've ever seen him before in my life either. Maybe in something. I don't remember. It's nothing big. He was in Vice. Did he have makeup on? I have no idea. I don't know if I've seen this guy before, but he is very good in this 1923, that show that is a spinoff of whatever that thing is. What's the show on Paramount with Kevin Costner? The spinoff of that show. I don't watch TV shows. He's good. But listen, there's a couple of issues here. I think the one thing is, and I talked to Gone Girl briefly before we went on the stream, because Gone Girl he read the book and he's producing for us tonight. And I said, is there story compaction here, right? Because you have this book that is sprawling, as I mentioned, when you talk about a story like this, you're dealing with any kind of situation like that, you're going to have to compact it. And when you do that, you lose some things. And you can feel it here. I think we speed time up. A character gets pregnant and all of a sudden the baby's here. And there's not really a nice transition. And it's hard, right? When you're trying to condense time and compact a storyline down to a 2-hour and I think 5-minute runtime on this, which feels just a little long, but again, I think the story deserves it because it's not as simple as girl, 2 boys, love triangle. There's more going on than that, a lot more. And because of that, I think the runtime is needed. It's not grossly out of control. I think it works. But remember, whenever you're taking a story like this and compacting it, you're going to feel it, and you do feel that. So I'm not saying the film needs to be longer. I'm saying that I think when you look at Justin's direction, there's a way to make some of these transitions more definitive so that I know that we just went 6 months, 9 months. I'm not saying the bottom of the screen 9 months later. There's just a way. There's ways. Now, I'm not a director. I'd have to look at a bunch of different things, but I'm telling you, if I saw it, I'd say we need to just go in there and clean a couple things up. And I think one of the things he uses as a crutch here too much, there's too many of these musical montages. I mean, a lot of musical. I'm not even kidding you. There's probably 6 or 7. Is there 8? There's so many. I lost count. You have so many. Here's a song, and here's the montage of them opening up the flower shop, of them falling in love, of whatever it may be. All of these things, and it just gets to be too much. So I think Justin, going back to a director who's done a few things, this is his biggest film, and it will be a big success. This film's going to be huge. Okay, huge with the core audience. This is the new Notebook. You heard it here first, no question, that it is going to be as beloved over time as the Notebook. I am certain of it, because the women in my audience, and trust me, it was everyone but me, were crying. They were literally like, oh, God. And I'm not going to lie, I did kind of come close, because it does pull on the heartstrings and it doesn't feel that manipulative. We talk about that a lot, is that a lot of films make you kind of just feel like, here's what I want you to feel. I feel like, yes, of course, this film's going to do some of that, but in general, it's earned, right? I'm looking for it to be earned, and I believe it is, especially at the end. Really like the end. Really like how this film ends. But I think that Justin will get better as a director over time. This is a strong entry from him in the second, third, fourth film. Nothing major, but I think he's someone that if he takes a little bit of the gloss off and you give him something that's a little bit, he can handle complex, because this book is. I think that you're looking at somebody that can be someone down the road that we are talking about at a higher level than, a glossy Hallmark Channel, much better than that film, but it's an 87% for me. That's a very high B+. Okay, guys, I recommend this film. And if I'm saying this, trust me, the core audience is going to lose their mind. Okay, so I look for this film to be much bigger than I had any clue going into it. When I saw this trailer, I'm like, what the hell is this? International best. I have no idea what this book is. Because I told you guys, I'm a movie guy. It's all I do. We only do one thing. We're the in and out of YouTube channels, right? We only serve burgers and fries. That's it. And that's what we do. It's theatrical. So when you talk to me about, adaptation of a book, I'm just going to evaluate on the film. This is going to be huge. Okay. We're talking about a film that Sony is going to be banking cash, fist wads. I mean, we're talking about a big time hit here. And I think you're for sure, Sadvik. Listen, I when I first saw this trailer, I'm thinking this is a $15 million movie. I did not know that this was a bestseller, within 22 languages or whatever the hell the Wikipedia page said. Millions and millions of copies out there. Okay. So once you know that, and then you see the film and realize that it holds its own, at least as for me, without any prior knowledge of this, then that means we're talking about, I'm thinking that's the case. So now what's interesting is you have Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool Wolverine, still kicking around, #1 film. And now you're going to have his wife with It Ends With Us, and you're going to get not Barbenheimer maybe, but you're going to get some kind of synergistic play. And you know what the big winner here? The winner is us. The winner is, yes, the audience, cinema, because we are now going into early to mid-August. Guys, this is the wasteland. We have a film coming out tomorrow I'm going to see that I'm hearing terrible things about. I'm telling you, Borderlands, I have a feeling tomorrow night's going to be bad. Like, it's going to get ugly up in here. Tonight, shocking, but that's why it's a win for theater, because you now have a film that's going to draw females in, and you still have Deadpool Wolverine kicking around. Borderlands is dead. Okay, that film is not even selling tickets in Burbank. That film is going down hard. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I haven't seen it. I can't wait, because I have a feeling I'm going to be savaging that thing tomorrow night. But this film is in a perfect spot. Yes, that's a great one, Coach. Listen, Blake Lively. Listen, she's back in Boston. As you guys know, she was in the town. I remember seeing Blake Lively in the town and going, damn, Blake Lively. Like, you know what I'm saying? when I moved to Boston, right after seeing The Town, I had to go to Boston because I love, first of all, Social Network, and I actually like The Town a lot. I was there right after those films dropped, 2012, 2013, 2014. I was in Boston. Ken Murray, if you're watching tonight, shout out. Used to see everything there. Every single movie that was a press screening I went to in Boston. She shot this back in Boston along with, as you know, The Town, and I love Boston, so of course that's going to always work for me too in a film, but that's not why I'm giving it a high grade, but I'm just saying these little things add a little bit to my experience when I go in. But I just can't go back to the fact that it's a shock, man. It's such a shock to go into some of these films expecting to be absolutely like, why am I here? Did I really need to do this? Like all day I was saying to myself, do I really want to put myself through girls' night out, the premiere of It Ends With Us? And I said, no, man, I don't know. I'm a little tired. And then I go, well, I'm glad I went. So again, I wasn't even in the right frame of mind tonight. I didn't even want to go to a movie, and I liked the film. So you're in good luck. You're going to have a really good time with this film. I think you will. And if you're a woman, take your woman. Your woman's going to lose her shit over this. She's going to love you. She's going to go home. You're going to do crazy shit when this thing's over. This is going to be because she's going to be like, my husband, my boyfriend loves me because he took me to see It Ends With Us, and I love this film. I'm crushing on it, and honey, let's go do some wild things in the bedroom. I don't know what to tell you guys. This is just what the channel is. I'm going to do, I wasn't planning for this. Christy Hall wrote this and directed Daddy-O. Luis, I didn't even realize, you're right, she adapted this, right? I like Daddy-O too. I mean, I like this film better than Daddy-O, but Daddy-O has some cool things. Sean Penn, number one. I mean, come on, Sean Penn, let's go. Let's get that revival going with Sean Penn and films that matter. But yes, I think you look at what she does with this film and her adaptation. Again, I don't know what the source material is, but it can't be easy to condense a book that is this sprawling into a film that's a little over 2 hours and pretty much nail it. So yes, she is a stock that I would be buying. We are going to do, we're going to do it. I haven't done one of these in a long time, but I was watching the movie and I figured, I think we need to do a physique critique. You guys ready? Here it comes. This is going to be, if you haven't ever done this, this is your first time, welcome to the MMT Physique Critique, where we grab someone who's in a movie and we say, look at that physique that they have. This is who we're talking about right here. This is the director of this film, Justin Baldoni, and he is jacked, okay? Let me tell you, he has his shirt off in this thing. He's a little bit leaner than this picture in the movie. I don't know if I can find a picture of him currently. Let's see. Shirtless. Let me put in It Ends With Us. Give me a second. Let's see if I can find a picture of him shirtless from the movie. Yeah, this is pretty close. Here we go. Let me hit this one. Can you guys see it? There he is. Okay, so so guys, again, if you've never watched one of our physique critiques, because I hit the gym and I'm allowed to do this, no other film person can do this. Mendelsohn can't do this, okay? I promise you that. Robert Daniels definitely can't do this. Name a critic that can't do this, because it would be a fraud. You'd be like, you can't critique a guy's physique. You look like Jabba the Hutt, motherfucker. You can't be doing that. But when you go to the gym and you're in as good at, I mean, he might have bigger traps than me, but you know what I'm trying to say here. When I'm allowed to do this, that's what we get to do when the other guys don't, because they can't, because you all be laughing at them going, hey, sponge boy, why are you making fun of some guy's body? I'm like, well, I'm just telling you, he has great traps. Do you guys, so I'm not going to, listen, guys, the traps are right here, right? These are your traps. I don't have the biggest traps. I've tried and tried. Let me tell you something as we get ready to transition into MMT Fit. At some point, we're going to start that channel when it's not about movies. It's only about fitness, because I can do that. Other people, I'm sorry, Mendelsohn, I didn't mean to drag you like that. I like Scott. Daniels will drag him for sure. And any of the other, who's another one? Zach Pope, definitely not going to be doing a physique critique. Eric Davis, not a physique critique. Do you see? This is why we're able to carve out our own little niche. We can do our own thing here. You can't stop us. We can do whatever we want because we have the tools to do these things. These are the traps, right? Look at Justin's traps. In the movie, I looked and I go, he has really nice traps. Do you see him here? One more time back to this. So no, we're not doing a William Bibiani physique critique. Do you see I didn't say that. You said it. I didn't say it. But we're definitely not doing that, okay? He couldn't do it. Definitely couldn't. He couldn't do it. If he tried to do it, you all be losing. Yeah, God damn. He can't do that. So, yeah, he looks good. He looks good. All right. There's our physique critique. I like his traps. All right, couple more comments and we're out of here. I'm going to mention quickly on Deadpool Wolverine in a moment, comment, and then I'll get to that. Barbie Inside Out 2. Now, this female audience film is going to dominate and reinvigorate the box office going forward. Jerk, I agree. It's a huge win. And women are excited to go to the movies. That helps all of us, man. It just makes Hollywood let's have some movies. Here's why I like the film. Again, I want to see movies with characters that feel real. I don't want to watch Borderlands tomorrow. I mean, I really don't want to watch Borderlands, but I will watch Borderlands because you guys made me. Well, I mean, if I'm going to do a movie show, I got to talk about it. Okay, let's go and look quickly at Deadpool Wolverine. Sent this out earlier this morning, and here it is, closing on $900 million. This is from Deadline. It's going to have $1 billion this weekend. Huge. I mean, guys, listen, I called it. Everyone come in real quickly. In Gone Girl, find someone right now who says, Weber, you called it. I said $1 billion. You know, all you said no. Remember? Come on. Who wants to roll up? Who wants to challenge? Who wants to roll up and have a chance? You take a chance, the man. You can't. I called it again because nobody's better. Nobody. There's nobody. Not a single person in the space better. No one. At everything. Because, listen, we bring everything to the game. We bring the ability to evaluate a film, the ability to nail box office, and the ability to call strikes and balls as we see them objectively without an agenda. That makes us the winners. We do not lose. We are the champions. Play it from Queen. I'll get hit with another copyright strike. Not worth it. $1 billion for this film, which I called. If you watch MMT, you're not surprised. This is duh. We knew this. 900 million here. It's at 879.2. It'll hit 900 tomorrow. Then $1 billion coming up this weekend, which we called. That means Inside Out 2 and Deadpool, both $1 billion films. By the way, both Disney films. Go woke, go broke. Oh wait, they're not woke. But Disney went woke and they went wait. No, shit. Fuck. They're not woke. So Disney's good. I don't know. You know, I don't play that game, so I don't know how that goes. But guys, another win. I mean, this whole summer has only gotten better from where we were when we had Kingdom, the Planet of the fucking Apes. God, that movie. What a fucking snore fest. That movie is just as terrible as Avatar 2. I don't want to watch shit like that anymore. Just generic. Talk about one-dimensional characters. I mean, the apes have more character than any of the humans in that movie. And even then, I'm done with the apes. I hate King of the Planet of the Apes and Avatar 2. Fuck those movies. So Disney, we love you for some things, and then fuck those two movies. I don't want to see another Avatar movie. I don't want to see another King of the Planet of the Apes. Have them die. The apes are extinct. They died of monkeypox. They're dead. I don't want to see them again. Don't bring them back. Avatar, Cameron, stop making Avatar movies. No one wants to watch that shit anymore. I don't care if the last movie made almost $2 billion. I think it's a lie. There's some kind of money laundering bullshit. Nobody talked about Avatar 2, and nobody wants to see Avatar 3. Raise your hand if you want to see Avatar 3. The same shit you always get. Look, we're going into the Navi's land and put on your VR headset and live in the metaverse. Fuck that. For people that want to live in the real world, Avatar can suck my cock. Hit the fucking road, Avatar. I don't ever want to see another Avatar movie again. Of course it did, Kuzma, because you're right. You're 100% right. I wasn't going to go. I'm saving all this energy for Avatar 2 another night. This stream's going to be at 30 minutes. You have less than 4 minutes. Get in here, comments. Gone Girl, hit them. Anything is game as we close this thing out, as we have another evaluation tomorrow night, which is going to be Borderlands, which I have a feeling I'm gonna loathe. I'm gonna go in just like I did tonight, saying I'm gonna be open. Let's do this. Let's be objective. Let's not have an agenda. But I just can tell from that trailer that I am going to really dislike this film. And if critics that aren't as hard as me are hammering that film, what do you think's going to happen tomorrow night? Good Lord. That's an earlier start time tomorrow, 8 o'clock, not late. This was late because I hadn't started late. I want to see James Cameron be a director. It's what I said. Jerk, I sent that tweet a few weeks ago. Last week, man, not even that long ago. I said, isn't it a shame that we've been robbed of original films from James Cameron because of Avatar? I don't know if someone's paying him to make Avatar, because we all know that the higher ups want everybody to live in the metaverse. They don't want you to use any resources. They don't want you to go anywhere. They want you to live in a 15-minute city. Oh no, Weber's doing his shit again. He's railing against the government. He's far right loon. Fuck off. The government definitely does not want you doing much. They'd rather you put on the VR headset and live in Naviland, in Pandora. Fuck you. I'm not living in Pandora. I live a good life. I don't want to live in your stupid ass visual reality bullshit. Get it out of here. Robert, this film's shaping up to be this year's Where the Crawdads Sing. Bigger film, but you're correct, and I actually like that film as well. Robert, so here you are. Sony, it's also a Sony film. You're very smart, Robert. You like that film. I like that film. This is a better film than that. This film it hits harder. The end is, God, it's good. Man, she wrote a really good ending to this film. I love it. I love the ending because anytime you give me a non-buttoned up perfect ending, I'm in. Okay? So, good on the author, good on everybody involved with this. This is a good film. I liked it, and I recommend it highly, especially for the target audience. Big time. As we get ready to wrap here on this Thursday night. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. Thursday, excuse me, it's Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Thursday because, of course, we usually do these on Thursday. Tomorrow night, Borderlands live, 8 o'clock, a little after, 8:05, let's call it, tomorrow for a movie that, get ready. It's going to get ugly tomorrow night. I could be wrong. And I'll be wrong, and I'll admit it. But right now, I'm not feeling strong about Borderlands, but I am feeling strong about It Ends With Us, a film I liked a lot more than I expected. We'll talk tomorrow night, Borderlands live from L.A. Until then, I will see you next time. MMT, peace out.